There you go again. It's been a while. I'm happy to be back. Yeah, let's continue with our videos. Just to share my insight and remember the disclaimer, I'm not really expecting this matter. I'm just sharing my insight. So my subject today is acceptance. Acceptance is one of those challenging um how can I put it? Like it's a challenging thing to do, because in life we are faced with so many other things that are not necessarily our choices, the stuff that happens to us, that others are doing to us, what we have done maybe to others as well. So to accept is one of those most important aspects of life in general. For an example, if I have to accept the color of my skin, where I was born, I cannot choose my family, and there are so many other things that happens in life in general, things that, I might see as challenges, and one of those questions that will come is why me, that question of why me, suggests that there's a problem of acceptance. If not me, who then? For an example, being born in a body of a male, what if I wanted to become a female? I cannot choose my race, I cannot choose my family. I find that I might have, been born in a family that if I compare, I would want something better. But unfortunately, that is how karma works. I hear people talking about karma as though it is something that it's a result of what you have done. I want to find that karma is actually what we are born with. No, karma it's not actually necessarily bad. Karma is about the circumstances that we find ourselves in, how what the universe, what God, or whatever that is, this power greater or a higher power has prepared for us as a journey, as lessons that we learn as we, move in life. I mean, as an infant, as a baby, you might be born with, other siblings before or after you, and that determines how you will be definitely treated. If you're the last born, you might find that there's more favor for you. If you're the firstborn, there's a challenge of having to, for an example, help raise your siblings. Sometimes you take, the responsibility for them. Sometimes, you become the one that is actually shouted at if this other one doesn't do what is needed, and you must always give, 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 give. Maybe they don't also, want to share, stuff like that. So death, for an example, accepting death, accepting disability, accepting, where you are born. So for me, acceptance it's a huge subject. The body that I'm in, can I accept the color of my skin, the size of my nose, my ears? Do I like what I see? Do I accept the body that I'm in? Am I trapped in this body, or am I accepting that this is me? Am I accepting my weaknesses? Am I accepting my strengths as well? So acceptance is a very important subject, because once I learn to accept what I cannot change, for example, the body that I am born in, the skin that I'm born in, then I will be forever unsatisfied with who I am. I wake up in the morning and I would love to change certain things. I mean, I cannot play God. I cannot choose how I look. I can rather simply accept, and look for strength within what I'm, given, what I'm gifted, with. For an example, being short might allow me to do certain things. Being tall might allow me to do certain things, and me, I have to find the strength within what I cannot change about myself. And I know it affects self-esteem, it affects my self-confidence, it affects how I see myself, how I present myself, how I show up. It has many connotations. So through the work that we do, and being addicts, being suffering from something, an injury, a disability again, without accepting that, I'll live a life that is not happy. I'll always be asking questions as though, that can change, and unfortunately, no matter how I can pray, to God or to whatever the force that is up there, the energy, that is not going to change. I can change how I react to what I am or how I look like or what is happening in my life, And now even that reaction is important. Do I react negatively or do I react positively? I know within the black culture, there are many stigmas, there are so many other things that we see ourselves as, unable to do and unable to transcend, as though other people deserve better than we are, or we are being taught not to really like ourselves the way we are. We conquer our hair, we try to be something else that we are not. We're trying to compare ourselves with others and forgetting that we, I for one, let me speak for myself, we are simply human, and there's so little that we can do to make others to, kind of like us in a way, so we discriminate. We use a certain power because of our weakness over others, So acceptance is one of those things that in whatever form of recovery, before we do anything else, we have to come to a point of acceptance. Do I accept that I have wronged? Can I apologize? Do I accept that this thing I cannot change? Take for an example, the one prayer that we use the most, which is the serenity prayer. It says, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can. I mean, if I say this prayer very slow, then I get to understand, God grant me the serenity, the level-headedness, the soberness, the real sight, the real understanding of things that I cannot change, So if I cannot change something, that means I must hand over, So it might be something else outside myself. It might be about how, say, again, choosing my family. I cannot choose my family. My family is what I found here. They raised me, So I need to find the courage to actually know and understand that these people love me as I am, and I have to return the very same love that they're giving. There might be many other challenges, but understanding that I cannot change others, so I have to go back to the very same people every night, every day, live with them, wake up with them, and having to find acceptance that this person is like this. So what do I ask God to do? I need God to help me understand and accept that I cannot change these things, and so therefore I have to live with it, and without shame, guilt, or blame. I mean, if I were to blame anyone, therefore I'm gonna have to blame God. Should I blame my parents for not being wealthy? Should I blame everyone else around me? Should I blame my teachers? Should I blame everything that is happening in my life? Or should I be guilty of who I am or what has happened to me? So, I need to check whom am I blaming for everything that's happened to me? How of the things that has happened wrong to me is stuff that I've done, maybe wrong or right, intentionally or unintentionally. I might have done certain things that, that are unbecoming, but maybe I had to grow up, I had to experience certain things, I had to experiment, So it doesn't mean that, I'm completely this disgusting, dirty person who, who doesn't deserve forgiveness or anything like that.